Okay. What the fuck is wrong with this thing? Now I'm making it public. Don't stop me now. I'm having such a bad time. I don't think this is working. This is not good. This is bad. This is bad news. Hello? Oh no, I broke the whole thing. Yeah, no, that's super busted. That's definitely not working. Buzzkill. Rude. I can't get the thing to work. Is it actually working? It's not really coming up on my end, which is unfortunate. I think live streaming is broken. I tried to do an event to schedule it ahead of time. It didn't work, and I don't know why. I think YouTube is trying to slow my power. I can't handle this. They're trying to pick a fight with me. There's so much I need to do. I don't know. This stream now thing is totally useless. It won't show my live feed. Every time I try to create a new live stream, it says it can't make one. I don't know what the problem is. But I really wanted to do this. This isn't fair. This is YouTube censorship at it again. First they were like, oh, you can't celebrate having 69 subscribers. And now they're like, you cannot live stream. We will not allow it. Ah, there it is. I think I got it working. Like, believe me, I wanted to schedule this ahead of time to build up some friggin' hype. They wouldn't let me. So I didn't have any choice. I had to do what had to be done. Oh, to have a consistent schedule. Oh, to be able to schedule a live stream and start it off by singing a song. Imagine, imagine, imagine all the live streams. Oh well, it's fine. I'll live. Is the chat coming up on screen? I added that this time. Everybody wanted to see that. Oh no, it didn't work. Why didn't that work? Why are all of my everything just not working today? Come on. Why didn't that work? This is terrible. I'm gonna fix it. I'm going to fix it. You may not believe me, but I'm gonna fix it. ASMR. Mouse clicking. Listen to me. You'll just make that ASMR yourself whenever you're on your computer. It's not hard when you've got a library card. I had a window capture for the live stream chat so that we could all see it. It's not there anymore. And I don't know what to do. It's like, Yeah, there it is. That's a live stream chat. That's what it is. I'll just make it smaller. I'm sitting kind of far away from my PC, so it's kind of hard to see. No, not that one. Oh goodness, that's a lot of people. You all just kind of flooded in at once. There we go. Yes, that'll do. That'll do. I'll put it over here in the corner. It's very nice. And the SCP page is looking all fancy and very nice. Hello, Pogs, Pogchamps, yes. I'm sorry that the live stream is very bad, but I couldn't get it to work. YouTube was censoring me, and I don't appreciate that. You tried looking up live stream could not be created. Apparently that's not an error people usually occur with, but it's fine. I just had to use stream now. It's unfortunate. Anyway, I'm here to read SCPs for my own inspiration and also to make money. Because that's what I do. I do like making money. You're eating your own shirt now. Don't do that. Shirts are expensive. So expensive. No idea how expensive shirts are. I'm going to go in, and I don't know what I'm going to read. I kind of want to read the one that's like that weird thing that they got at a circus, and it sings, and it's covered in like a bag, and when the bag gets cut open, everybody goes deaf. Finally caught me live. I've been live once. Why do I sound so tired? I'm not answering any questions. There's no questions to be answered. Random SCP. No. Low rating. Boring. What? Why does it keep bringing... Dude. I don't want to see this. Okay, that's different. I keep being accused of being high. I work night shift. That's literally all it is. SCP-505. Certainly. I'm gonna search the site for SCP-505. Perfect. There it is. Let's make this nice and simple. Why are you singing Backstreet Boys in here? SCP-682 just broke out at Gate B. Word. Alright. Item. SCP-505. Object Class. Keter. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-505 is contained in a 50-meter by 40-meter by 10-meter room at Site... Redacted. SCP-505's containment area is to be sealed other than one secure airlock and a series of pipes allowing transport of SCP-505-1 to storage tanks in the event of a SCP-505-1 reaching levels in which it poses a danger to containment. Sprayers for... Oh, those are chemical words. Those are chemically words. I can't say the chemical words. Just... There's 4 of those are to be available through SCP-505's containment area and the rest of Site Redacted to combat a containment breach. In the event of a spill of SCP-505-1, The affected area should be immediately covered with an absorbent material. Commercial blotting paper is currently standard for this purpose. Is that paper towels? Is that paper towels? Oh no, I hit my pop filter. That's bad news. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if you were in the middle of something and you hit your pop filter? Anyway, move back to this. Where was I? Oh yeah. And doused with alcohol or acetone if chemical word is not immediately available. Chemical word immersion is the method of choice for SCP-505-1 containment, followed by incineration of affected material if practicable. Is that a word? Is that a word? We've reached the peak of ASMR content. I really hope that this is like an SCP that I can make an ASMR video out of. I'm looking for inspirations. Okay. There are currently, redacted, instances of SCP-505-1 points of secondary contamination outside SCP-505's primary containment area. Containment in these areas is variable, but efforts have been made to make procedures as similar to those of the primary site if possible. Of these secondary contamination zones, redacted, are unable to be fully contained at this time, resulting in the spread of SCP-505-1 throughout the environment. These sites are to be monitored at all time, and countermeasure development is of the highest priority. For a complete list of SCP-505-1 secondary containment sites, see Document 505-14A, redacted. Ratatouille ASMR. Shrek ASMR. You guys are giving me too many good ideas. Make SCP-049 girl version ASMR. I did consider it. I thought about it. But then I realized, where am I gonna get the artwork for the thumbnail? Because you know what happened? Like, I made that Drider ASMR thing. That was a commission. I never would have considered doing it myself, because I had to edit the pic crew to give that chick extra eyes so she would look kind of like a spider. It was a bad move. Fake as an SCP and doing research to get away. I was thinking, what if it's like ASMR? I'm the researcher and you're the SCP, and I'm like interviewing you. It's fun. The fresh hell have you stumbled upon? You stumbled upon my live stream. I'm doing this for inspiration and for the money. Anyway, this is a Keter level SCP, so it's gotta be super scary. So let's read this. I'm putting in a warning. This might scare you. It might give you a sense of existential dread or fear. And I want you to know it's okay, because none of it's real. Oh, the chemical word is ammonium. I will use that then, if I see it again. Anyway, description. SCP-505 is a model, redacted, Faber-Castell fountain pen produced in 2001. For documentation of its acquisition by the Foundation, see Addendum 505-2. It is identical in all aspects to a standard fountain pen, apart from its association with SCP-505-1. Okay, so it's just a pen. I don't see what the problem is. Okay, I'm sure it's gonna get better. It's not ammonium, it's sodium hydroxide. Well, now I just don't know who to believe. Anyway. SCP-505-1 is the black ink produced by SCP-505, which exhibits the property of self-replication. SCP-505-1 spreads at a variable rate, affected by the substance it comes into contact with and the amount of SCP-505-1 present. Okay. Quantities of SCP-505-1 have been shown to increase at rates of 0.5 and 540 milliliters per second. Standard ink-removing chemicals are able to partially remove SCP-505-1 and inhibit its spread. However, sodium hydroxide is necessary to remove SCP-505-1 contamination completely. And has shown to be ineffective in environments with particularly high SCP-505-1 concentrations. I'm going to be honest, this is pretty hard for me to read. The computer's pretty far away. And my vision is not good. Has anyone donated yet? No, they haven't. But you should be sending me money. I need money to live. Anyway, I might want to zoom in on this and just move the computer closer. It's very loud, but I can't really see what I'm doing. My vision is very bad. I need new glasses. Okay. Where was I? Fortunately, the growth rate of SCP-505-1 appears to be inversely proportional to its quantity at high concentrations. Whilst the observed effects of this are negligible in most cases, this inverse growth phenomenon provides the only explanation for the partial containment of SCP-505-1, despite a number of cases of large-scale environmental contaminations, which were projected to otherwise lead to an NK-class end-of-the-world scenario. Okay, I think I understand the concept. So, it's a pen that spills its ink, but the ink just goes everywhere, and if the ink gets everywhere, it's going to be bad for the universe. Thank you, Hellhound LVR, for the $2. Keep taking and take my money. I think he meant to say talking, but that's okay. We won't hold it against them. Thank you very much. I really, really appreciate it. I will keep talking. Whilst, ooh, so fancy. Whilst SCP-505-1 exhibits no unusual properties other than its constant spread and partial resistance to removal, it nonetheless poses serious difficulties for control. SCP-505-1 will flow across non-absorbent surfaces and pass through porous surfaces in an identical fashion to normal ink. All liquid or solid objects or beings in contact with SCP-505-1 will be contaminated. SCP-505-1 will still adhere to non-porous surfaces such as metals, but newly produced SCP-505-1 will constantly flow off. Non-porous materials are thus catalysts for SCP-505-1 spread, and all SCP-505-1 contamination should be covered in porous materials such as blotting paper for this reason. It is not possible to permanently contain SCP-505-1 in a non-porous container, as said container's contents will gradually increase in quantity, leading to increased pressure and subsequent rupture. All containers being used to contain SCP-505-1 must therefore be drained periodically to prevent a containment breach. Okay, so I get it. You can't put it in a box because it'll break out of the box. I understand. Yeah, I bet the first person that tried that looked like a real doofus. He was like, hey, we can just put the ink in a box. And then it burst out of the box. He probably got a pay cut because of that. Really unfortunate. Good night, Stormy Beat. Best of luck falling asleep to this. I don't expect you'll have much luck. SCP-505-1's effects on its environment are identical to those of an equivalent quantity of standard fountain pen ink. SCP-505-1 exposure will inevitably lead to the death of living organisms. Plant matter will be killed due to inhibition of photosynthesis, whereas animals will be killed due to chemical poisoning. In humans and other mammals, SCP-505-1 contact will most likely be via the skin, where it will spread until it reaches an orifice or a break in the skin and subsequently enter the vascular system through mucous membranes. Gross. SCP-505-1 will spread through the vasculature and have catastrophic effects on all organ systems it reaches, as it continuously replicates and is unable to be excreted by the... Gross. Cause of death is generally multiple organ failure, although in most cases affected individuals will be terminated and decontaminated prior to this. For containment procedures in these instances, see Addendum 505-1. I don't know what my favorite SCP is. I'm kind of fond of Bobble the Clown. That guy's weird, but fun. I should read him next. SCP-505-1 also has an increased rate of spread through non-viscous fluids such as water, as would be expected of normal ink. Any contamination of the water table with SCP-505-1 must be prevented at all costs due to the potential for an NK-class end-of-the-world scenario. It is unknown whether SCP-505-1's aforementioned property of an inversely proportional rate of spread will manifest in fluids, as experimentation with such high quantities of SCP-505-1 is strictly forbidden. Is that an extra? What is that? What's this one? Thank you, Kindred Spirit. I'm glad you enjoy the meta videos. Honestly, I wasn't actually planning to release a video today. I was just gonna do a live stream. But then I felt inspired. So, that's the thing. Ganymede. Isn't that a moon? This looks boring. I'm not gonna read that. Goodbye, DFDB Gaming. Sayonara. Addendum 505-1. What does SCP stand for? Secure, contain, protect. Will I make longer videos? Well, if I did that, I wouldn't be able to post them every day. I'm going for a bit of a quantity over quality sort of thing here. You know, just to keep myself going for now. So maybe later I'll stop posting every day and I'll make longer videos. But we'll have to see. Anyway, Addendum 505-1. Procedures for dealing with SCP-505-1 contamination in humans. Administration of multiple-dose activated charcoal has been shown to slow the process of SCP-505-1 contamination in humans, but is unable to halt the process. The only known methods of treatment for SCP-505-1 contamination in humans are by immediate excision of the affected area or continuous application of ethanol to the affected skin region. Topical ethanol treatment will not prevent the affected individual from transmitting SCP-505-1 to other surfaces and is thus highly discouraged, except in cases of essential personnel, in which case containment procedures must be observed as in all other sites of secondary SCP-505-1 contamination. In theory, excision or amputation of affected areas would be the gold standard for treatment, but contamination of surgical instruments and personnel remains a problem. Therefore, all cases of SCP-505-1 contamination in humans other than essential personnel should be dealt with by termination, followed by standard procedure of, I don't remember what chemical they said, chemical word, immersion and incineration of the remains. Got a bump on your elbow and you don't know how to deal with it. That's happened to me a lot of times. You just have to hold on to it with your hand. That's all you gotta do. That's all I can suggest. You guys hear that? It's fucking train coon. He couldn't be satisfied with interrupting my recordings. Now he's gotta get in on the live stream too. I'm gonna fight him in the street. Hello, Rusty Fable. Addendum 505-2. SCP-505 Retrieval History. Okay, where did they get this guy? Where'd they get him? SCP-505 was acquired by the Foundation from the town of Redacted in Oman, where the town in question was quarantined by the Omani government due to reports of a black fluid beginning to seep out from the town's post office and causing the deaths of a number of its inhabitants. Fortuitously, the arid and remote location of the incident prevented wide-scale environmental contamination of SCP-505-1. The Foundation retrieved SCP-505-1 with redacted casualties. No other anomalous properties of the town's post office or the town itself were detected. It was deemed necessary to terminate redacted civilian inhabitants of redacted who were deemed likely to be contaminated. The incident was reported as a non-extranormal chemical spill. R.I.P. to those guys. Where's Plain Coon? I'm writing the script for that. Somebody commissioned it. You know, I do get those weird commissions that are like clearly somebody like asking for like a fetish in disguise. Don't think I don't know, okay? Because like I refunded that guy who asked me to do a video where I was playing an anime girl that just insulted the listener and just said that he sucked and that no anime girl would ever love him. I'm just like, dude, I know what you're getting at, and that's not appropriate, so I'm not gonna say that. Take your money back. I don't want it. I'm gonna read 096 next. Saying no anime girl buys lots of Wonder Bread ASMR. Gameling. We can't talk about that. That's cursed. We can't talk about that. I do have to be careful with that kind of stuff. Listen, like, I have a rule. If somebody asked me for straight up not safe for work content, if they're just like, here, read this porn script for me, after reading that I don't do not safe for work, they're not getting their money back. But if somebody's just trying to like casually just be like, hey, this is kind of safe for work, but it's clearly still feeding my fetish, just take your money back and get the fuck out of here. Just, you'd think like, oh, you shouldn't refund them either, but no, those guys, it's at the point where like the only way to get rid of them is to just give them back their money and pretend they don't exist so they got nothing to hold over you. Just get them the fuck out of here. Fucking freaks. This is uncomfortable. You're right, it is. Let's get back to the SCPs. This is a classic, and I think we all know it is. Are you Church of the Broken God or Sarkic Cult? I think Church of the Broken God is a great name. But other than that, like, whatever. Like, you know. Anyway, SCP, item number, SCP-096, object class, Euclid, special containment procedures. SCP-096 is to be contained in a cell, a 5 meter by 5 meter by 5 meter airtight steel cube at all times. Weekly checks for any cracks or holes are mandatory. There are to be absolutely no video surveillance or optical tools of any kind inside SCP-096's cell. Security personnel will use pre-installed pressure sensors and laser detectors to ensure SCP-096 presence inside the cell. I don't know, is 5 meters big? I think... actually, that might be bigger than my apartment, jeez. Reading Communist Manifesto ASMR. No. If you called your fans fakers, I guess that would have more staying power than the crew. Nobody wants to hear about the crew. Fake ASMR confesses to you, but you're an SCP. But you're also actually Mothman ASMR. Is there a Mothman SCP? Send me that. I want to see it. Anyway. Any and all photos, video, or recording of SCP-096's likeness are strictly forbidden, without approval from Dr. Redacted and 05 Redacted. Description: SCP-096 is a humanoid creature measuring approximately 2.38 meters in height. I think that's tall, I don't know. Subject shows very little muscle mass, with preliminary analysis of body mass suggesting mild malnutrition. Arms are grossly out of proportion with the rest of the subject's body, with an approximate length of 1.5 meters each. Skin is mostly devoid of pigmentation, with no sign of any body hair. I guess the real question is... No, I'm not gonna say that. Y'all know what I was gonna say. ASMR, you help your friend break Mothman out of the SCP Foundation. Alright. SCP-096's jaw can open to 4 times the norm of an average human. I don't want to know what that mouth do. Other facial features remain similar to an average human, with the exception of the eyes, which are also devoid of pigmentation. It is not yet known whether SCP-096 is blind or not. It shows no signs of any higher brain functions, and is not considered to be sapient. Wow. So, you know, just because you're really focused on one thing, they go ahead and accuse you of not even having a brain. You're the possessive mask SCP trying to dominate the host body. Sounds a little bit too specific. Anyway. SCP-096 is normally extremely docile, with pressure sensors inside its cell indicating it spends most of the day pacing by the eastern wall. However, when someone views SCP-096's face, whether it be directly, via video recording, or even a photograph, it will enter a stage of considerable emotional distress. Wow. I'm the exact same way. Somebody doesn't want to deal with the mortifying ordeal of being known. SCP-096 will cover its face with its hands and begin screaming, crying, and babbling incoherently. Approximately 1 to 2 minutes after the first viewing, SCP-096 will begin running to the person who viewed its face, who will from this point on be referred to as SCP-096-1. Wait, what? What's this bracket for? BOV 049 cleanses you of your pestilence. I mean, that would involve you dying, though. But really, why is this bracket here? Where does it begin? Oh, there it is. Jeez, I'm dumb. Whatever. If I knew where the other bracket was, I would have become a programmer. And I mean, I tried, but I'm bad. Anyway, documented speeds have varied from 35 kilometers an hour to redacted 3-digit number, that's pretty fucking fast, kilometers an hour, and seems to depend on distance from SCP-096-1. At this point, no known material or method can impede SCP-096's progress. The actual position of SCP-0961 does not seem to affect SCP-096's response. It seems to have an innate sense of SCP-096-1's location. Note, this reaction does not occur when viewing artistic depictions of SCP. Wait, what? Okay, I'll read the document. I'll read that after. SCP-128? I'll think about it, but I gotta read this first. Bring that back when I'm done. Upon arriving at SCP-096-1's location, this is hard to read, SCP-096 will proceed to kill and data expunged. SCP-096-1. 100% of cases have left no traces of SCP-096-1. I think he's eating them. My artistic depiction's fine. Well, it's not the real thing. I mean, look at the thumbnail. That's an artistic depiction of me. Therefore, I won't be upset about it, because it kind of looks kawaii. But my face, no. Anyway. SCP-096 will then sit down for several minutes before regaining its composure and becoming docile once again. It will then attempt to make its way back to its natural habitat. Data redacted. Well, I want to know where he lives. I want to go find the rest of them. Due to the possibility of a mass chain reaction, including breach of Foundation secrecy and large civilian loss of life, retrieval of subject should be considered alpha priority. Dr. Redacted has also petitioned for immediate termination of SCP-096. See interview 096-1. Order is awaiting approval. Termination order has been approved and is to be carried out by Dr. Redacted on data redacted. See incident 096-1-A. Bro, did they kill my boy? I'll read that after I'm done with the interview. Audio log from interview 096-1. Interviewer, Dr. Redacted. Interviewed Captain, redacted, former commander of Retrieval Team Zulu 9-A, Retrieval Incident number 096-1-A. Okay, so this is that incident. I didn't need to open that in a new page. Oh no, wait, I did. I'll read that after. We got Korean in the chat. I can't read Korean. If I could read Korean, I would be a smart person, but I'm not. Could make Mothman a recurring character. Isn't Plain Coon enough for you? Begin log. Redacted. Time. Research area. Redacted. Captain. Redacted. Okay, I'm gonna break out my epic acting chops. Y'all know I can do this. I can actually do this. It always sucks ass to get initial retrieval duty. You've no idea what the damn thing is capable of besides what jacked up information the field techies can scrape up, and you're lucky if they even tell you the whole story. They told us to bag and tag, didn't tell us jack shit and not looking at the damn thing. Doctor, redacted. Am I an SCP fan? Yes, I guess so. I like the cute ones. Anyway. Could you describe the mission, please? Yeah, sorry. We had 2 choppers, one with my team, and one on backup with Zulu 9B and Doctor. We spotted the target about 2 clicks north of our patrol path. I'm guessing he wasn't facing our direction, else he would have taken us out then and there. Do I love horror stories? I don't love them, but I'll read them on occasion. Mothman gets hit on by Plain Coon ASMR. That sounds extra cursed. I don't know if I like that. Anyway. Your report says SCP-096 didn't react to the cold. It was minus, redacted, degrees Celsius. Actually, it was redacted. And yes, it was butt naked and didn't do as much as shiver. Anyway, we landed, approached the target, and Corporal, redacted, got ready to bag it. That's when Doctor, redacted, called. I turned to answer it, and that's what saved me. The target must have turned, and my whole squad saw it. Femboy Hooters ASMR. That's already a thing. Go listen to Salem. Oh, shoot. Thank you, Caillou Anderson 45, for the $5.49. That's oddly specific. And I don't know why you didn't leave a message with it, but thank you. That's very nice of you. Mothman and Plain Coon have a rivalry. That would involve me having to voice one of them, and I don't know what Mothman sounds like. And Plain Coon is just a plane. He sounds like in the distance. That's what he sounds like. You and GF catch Mothman sinning in the shower? That's inappropriate. I'm not catching anyone sinning. What are we, yaoi fangirls in 2003? Ridiculous. 2003, more like 2007. I was wrong about that. Anyway. I didn't know you spoke plain. I don't. I can barely speak French. Anyway, I have to read the rest of this. That's when SCP-096 entered an agitated emotional state. Yep. Interviewed now pauses for a second before continuing. Sorry, got the willies for a second. That's all right. Yeah, well, I never saw its face. My squad did, and they paid for it up the ass. Could you describe it a little more, please? No, I just said I can't speak French. I tried to learn it, didn't work out. I can kind of sing the lyrics to Balance Ton Quoi, but that's a good song, and everybody knows how to sing in different languages. But talking, that's totally different. You sound like the tabs on drugs. God, why does everybody think I'm on drugs? The only drugs I'm on might be caffeine pills, depending on the day. Listen, I have edibles. They don't do anything for me, and I haven't had them in months. Did I ever finish the puzzle from the last live stream? No. In fact, the laptop is sitting on top of it right now, because I don't have anywhere else to put it. When I move into my new apartment, it's gonna have an extra room, and my parents are gonna give me their game table, and that's where I'm gonna put my puzzles. So that's nice. What are edibles? It's just like weed, but in food. You know what marijuana is, right? I'm gonna get demonetized. Anyway. Yeah. It started screaming at us and crying. Not animal roaring, though. Sounded exactly like a person. Really fucking creepy. We started firing when it picked up Corporal, redacted, and ripped off his leg. Oh shit, hold on. Oh. Thank you, Freezing Mira. Thank you for the $3.99. An SCP has been suggested. Hold up. I'll just open that up in a new window. Come on, let me add that to my tabs. Let me add it to my tabs. There we go. We'll read that after. I want to know, people think you sound like Solid Snake. Me too, man. Anyway, we started firing when it picked up Corporal, redacted, and ripped off his leg. God, he was screaming out for our help. Fucking A. Anyway, we were blowing chunks out of the target, round after round. Didn't do jack shit. Almost lost it when it started. Data expunged him. Okay, so it definitely, there's no need to, like, data expunge this. There's no need to be mysterious. We know he's fucking eating them. Come on. Or he's dissolving them in some kind of acid, whatever. I will say, though, if you just fucking left him alone, like, he's clearly living in the fucking Arctic, like, really, like, far away from everybody else. If you just left him there, none of this would have happened. Although he does kind of sound like a skinwalker. I've been listening to the Skinwalker Ranch episodes. My pop filter. Of Chilluminati podcast. Have you heard of that? I don't sound like Solid Snake. How could you say that? Colonel, my joke ASMR channel is accidentally picked up. I know. Can't even imagine. There. Let's get back to this. Alright. That's when you ordered the use of N. Papers are heard moving. I don't have any papers. That's a movie ticket. I don't know. That's really old. What movie ticket is? Oh. It's for Guardians of the Galaxy 3D. How did this get here? That's like 6 years old. It's from when I was cleaning out my closet. Anyway. AT-4 HEDT launcher, an anti-tank gun. Started carrying it ever since SCP. That's probably 682. Got loose. I've seen those tear through tanks like tissue paper. Did the same thing to the target. There was significant damage to SCP-096. It didn't even fucking flinch. It kept tearing apart my squad, but with half of its torso gone. draws a large half circle across his torso. Wow. But it was taking damage. If it wasn't showing it. It must have lost all its organs, all its blood, but it didn't acknowledge any of it. Its bone structure wasn't hurt at all, though. It kept tearing my squad apart. So no structural damage. How many rounds would you say were fired at SCP-096? At the least, 1,000. Silly raccoon movie and Vin Diesel plant. Bro. I saw this when the movie theaters opened back up again. I looked at the listings, and there was this Vin Diesel movie that I don't remember the name of, but it looked so cliche, as though it was like a fake Vin Diesel movie that would be playing in the background of a different Vin Diesel movie. In the video, snake ASMR, but the video is just regular snake noises. They'll be mad at me. But I'd still probably gain subscribers. One where he's like a super soldier or some shit? I don't know. Who fucking cares? It's a Vin Diesel movie. You know, I was really shocked to find out he has a twin. He has a twin brother. And I was like, how could the world possibly handle two Vin Diesels? His brother looks nothing like him, which is probably a good thing. Our door gunner kept his GAU-19 on it for at least 20 seconds. 20 fucking seconds. That's 650 caliber rounds pumped into the thing. Might as well have been spitting at it. Is that like the gun Heavy uses in TF2? This is when Zulu 9B arrived. Yeah, and my squad was gone. Zulu 9B managed to get the bag over its head and it just sat down. We got it into the chopper and got it here. I don't know how I never saw its face. Maybe God or Buddha or whoever thought I should live. The jackass. We have obtained an artist's depiction of SCP-096's face. Would you like to view it? You know, after hearing that thing screams, and the screams of my men, I don't think I want to put a face to what I heard. No. Just no. Alright, I believe we are done here. Thank you, Captain. Chairs are heard moving, and footsteps leave the room. Captain, redacted, is confirmed to have left interview room 22. Let this be on record that I am formally requesting SCP-096 be terminated as soon as possible. End log. So that's fun. Heavy doesn't use 50 caliber bullets. I don't know, I've never played TF2. I just read the fanfics. Don't at me. Twin Diesel. That's a good one. I like that. Twin Diesel. That's a great stage name. It's a good stage name. I want to see a rock band called Twin Diesel. Good morning, my dude. Good morning. Heavy uses 7.62 millimeter. Well, whatever then. Duo Diesel. Of course. We'll read output. Listen, depending on where I am, we don't have time to read all the suggestions. The experiment. This is the experiment. Experiment 096-1, headed by Dr. Dan. Purpose is to test SCP-096's abilities while obtaining complete physical description of SCP-096. D-9031 is a 32-year-old convicted felon and former tattoo artist. D-9031 is placed inside Bathysphere 303A. Bathysphere? Like from fucking Bioshock. We're doing that. If Vin Diesel could paint, he would paint on Easel Diesel. Anyway. Which is then lowered in the Tonga Trench off the coast of New Zealand. Position is approximately, redacted, kilometers from SCP-096's temporary containment cell at site, redacted. The following was recorded via video surveillance inside Bathysphere 303A, between it and Dr. Dan's control site on the New Zealand mainland. Bathysphere 303A reaches final depth of 10,800 meters. It stopped. What now? Do you feel fine? No sickness? Anything? My ears hurt. That should be expected. Now on your left should be a steel container. Open it and there will be a manila folder holding several photographs. Open it and describe the first photograph, please. Please make more necromancer. The story's over. What am I supposed to do? I can't expect it to be that creative. D-9031 complies. The camera is located so the photograph cannot be seen. Nothing. It's an empty cell. Thank you. Please set this photograph face down in the receptacle to your right and look at the next photograph. It's the same cell, but there's a foot in it, I think. Describe it, please. It's pale and bony, sort of creepy actually. Place the photograph in the receptacle, face down, and look at the next one. Okay. Oh shit. Describe the photograph. It's, I don't know, some creepy-ass person? Describe the photograph, please. Hell, man, he's pale, has white eyes, and something fucked up is happening with his mouth. What the hell is this thing? At this point, approximately 13:32 Standard Time, Dr. Dan and Experiment Control is notified that SCP-096 has breached containment. The fastest path to SCP-096-1 has been cleared of civilians and other image-capturing devices, and SCP-096 is now being tracked by satellites via tracking collar. On your right, there should be another steel container. Open it. It's a pad of paper and a pencil. Yes, please draw a sketch of the photograph you saw. SCP-096-1 mumbles an expletive and spends the next 20 minutes drawing a sketch of the photograph. At the time of completion, SCP-096 is confirmed to be, redacted, kilometers away from SCP-096-1. I'm done. Good. Place a drawing in the receptacle on your left and close the door. This poor guy doesn't even know what's happening. Oh god, he has AirPods and he can't hear us. SCP-096-1 complies and the sketch leaves Bathysphere 303A in a watertight buoyancy container. The other photographs are incinerated in the onboard incinerator. They got an onboard incinerator? Snazzy. Maybe next live stream you can read fanfics. The only fanfic I don't wanna hate on anybody's fanfics. Okay. Because if I was to do that in a live stream, I would feel compelled to find like really horrible fanfics. But you know. And if I wanted to read the really good fanfics that I like, I'd get demonetized instantly because they all have porn in them. But I could read my fanfics. I could. It's all just VX reader insert. That's all it is. I'm not reading fanfics. Anyway. This poor fucking guy. What now? Please stand by. 40 minutes pass. SCP-096 is now confirmed to be at SCP-0961's position and is diving. Transponder signal ends at 9,339 meters as pressure goes beyond the device's operational limits. The camera shows the bathysphere shaking slightly. From SCP-096-1's reaction, it is assumed SCP-096 is on the hull and visible through the viewport. Oh fuck, shit, what the fuck is that? Video and audio feed is cut as the hull of bathysphere 303-A is breached. SCP-096 is recovered by Surface Recovery Team Foxtrot 303-A without incident. Sketch of SCP-096 is also recovered, and a quick test confirms no hostile reaction from SCP-096. Sketch is sent to Experiment Control on New Zealand, while SCP-096 is moved to permanent containment. I sound like Raven from the Teen Titans. I'm getting so many weird comparisons to what my voice sounds like. Wow, this is really long. Is this what? Like, okay. I don't want to read all this. Is it weird that you're eating Kool-Aid powder? Yes? Anyway, I was paid to read SCP-2570, so I'm going to do that. I don't think I've read this one before. I've never heard of this. This is more relaxing than a cat meowing loud in my ears. I'd hope so. Anyway. Item number SCP-2570. Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-2570-1 and -2 are currently contained on a 5-meter radius circular Pyrex platform in the Site-42 Extra-Dimensional Containment Zone. What a name. Am I a ghost? Well, you don't have any proof of that, do you? What would I describe my accent as? I don't know. I'm from Canada. I don't have an American accent. A system of stereos and loudspeakers that constantly play Kanye West's musical albums, The College Dropout, and My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, in a staggered format so there is no pause in the music, is to be arranged in a 4-meter radius around SCP-2570. A backup system should be placed in a 6-meter radius around SCP-2570-1 and is to be moved into the 4-meter radius should the primary speaker system fail. The stereos and speakers are to be tied directly to the Site-42 nuclear power plant, and a backup generator must be in place in case of a blackout. Minor Task Force LF-16 Kenny Rogers Roaster is to be on standby to execute Procedure LF-16 in the event of complete speaker failure. A biological facsimile of Adam Yauch has been placed at the original gravesite. What does that mean? Your province is Alberta. Oh, very nice. Korean Canadian. I've met a few exchange students from Korea. We had a couple in my class in like 5th grade. Yeah, they were about. I don't remember their names. And my cousins once had a Korean exchange student living with them, but I think they lost contact with that guy. Making Alfredo. Oh, I love Alfredo. I don't know what I'm gonna do for dinner. All I have is mashed potatoes. I'm running out of food, but I can't go buy more because I'm going on vacation. Anyway, let's read the rest of this. Description: SCP-2570 is 1 is the body of former musician Adam MCA Yauch of the musical group Beastie Boys. I'll be honest, I'm not familiar with who was in that group. Aside from not having decayed since Yauch's death in 2012, SCP-2570-1 is non-anomalous. SCP-2570-2 is a spiral dimensional rift located exactly 5 meters above SCP-2570-1's head and will move with it. Periodically, incorporeal entities will attempt to exit through SCP-2570-2. These entities constantly exude a corrosive substance around them. Objects affected by this corrosion, including air, separate into their component parts before either dissolving or condensing into an equally corrosive liquid, further spreading the effect. As a result, the general area around SCP-2570-1 is usually engulfed in the corrosion. Pyrex glass, SCP-2570-1, and SCP-2570-3 are the only unknown objects unaffected by this corrosion. This process emits no sound. Ghosts are real. I wish. Listen, I work in a big building. Late at night, I get paranoid because of infrasound. You know, the HVAC system. It creates a sound that might make you see hallucinations, and that's the explanation for a lot of ghost sightings. I do get worried that I'm going to be affected by infrasound, and I'm going to see some weird shit, and it's going to scare me, and I don't want to be scared. Even if I know it's not real, I don't want to be scared. Anyway, the entities themselves are drawn towards human beings and will attempt to make contact with any human within the vicinity of SCP-2570-2. Any and all animals that come into contact with the entities become instances of SCP-2570-3. Instances of SCP-2570-3 adopt major characteristics of the entities, gaining resistance to the corrosion and experiencing extreme changes to their personality. Human instances claim to be an entity that calls itself Asim. Animal instances will gain the ability to speak in what appears to be Pali. What? Can't see that, the chat's in the way. A dead language native to the Indian subcontinent, heavily studied due to its usage as the primary language of major extant Buddhist texts. Interesting. And then also claims to be said entity. All instances of SCP-2570-3, whether human or animal, express a desire to enslave, loot, or otherwise adversely affect this reality and its inhabitants, and refuse to communicate beyond declaring said intentions. External acoustic rhythms have a negative effect on SCP-2570, its corrosion, and instances of SCP-2570-3. The rift either ceases expansion or begins contraction depending on the tempo, pitch, and tone of the sound in its vicinity. In particular, any music featuring the voice of musician Kanye West has a strongly negative effect on SCP-2570. I'll be honest, the voice of Kanye West has a strongly negative effect on me, too. West's voice also halts the corrosion, causing an inverse process where the corrosive liquid is recompiled into its original substance and/or retreats back into the rift. Instances of SCP-2570-3 are neutralized and reverted to their original cells. However, complete closing of the rift has been unsuccessful. Addendum Recovery Log. SCP-2570 was first recovered on I don't actually know how to read the date, because I'm pretty sure this is like an American thing. So I don't know what year this happened. 04/04/18. I don't, like, fuck it, I can't read dates. In Brooklyn, New York, when the Foundation intercepted reports of pools of acid and incorporeal entities stemming from Greenwood Cemetery, specifically from a purple swirling portal in the cemetery. Local task force, Gimel 9, the Ungrateful Dead, moved to contain the anomaly. At the scene, they encountered a married couple, Tricia and Arthur Prefect, who had already established basic containment of SCP-2570 using a rudimentary version of the protocols outlined above, and were in the process of packing up their equipment. What? American dates, month, day, year. Okay, so it's April 4th, 2018. Cool. This is a big one. It's the same either way. Well, not if you don't know that the year was 2018. Whatever. Forward. This interview was conducted on site by leader of LTF, Gimel 9, Douglas Fook. Mr. and Mrs. Prefect provided all insights on containing SCP-2570. Following the interview, the Prefect's equipment was confiscated, and they were given Class A amnestics and released. Emotional responses such as crying, hiccuping, and stuttering have been edited out to enhance comprehension. Okay, this is a very emotional experience. Tricia and Arthur Prefect, we would like to speak with you regarding the events that just occurred. Hold on, are you the police? Because if you are, I want my lawyer. Irrelevant data expunged. Alright, I can see it. Hold on. My glasses are dirty. I need to fix them. Get off of my lenses. What did you miss? Everything. Even me cleaning my glasses. You missed that. My name is Tricia Jeltz. I'm an orthodontist, and this is my husband/assistant, Arthur Prefect. We run Prefect Perfect Dentistry, a dentistry clinic in the Bronx. We're here to retrieve Adam Yauch. How is that related to the events that just transpired? Well, it's exactly like I said. We tried to revive Adam Yauch from the dead using, I suppose, musical necromancy? Again, please explain. We have plenty of time. See, we're big fans of the Beastie Boys. Own all the albums, collector's edition, gold-plated vinyl, digitally remastered edition. You name it, we got it. Been to almost every one of their concerts, too. We were incredibly excited for their newest, not anymore, but upcoming album Hot Sauce Committee back in 2009. But then MCA got throat cancer and died. It's not right. They had so much more music to give. At the time, I'd started reading Lovecraft and Stephen King and getting into, dark arts and the like. Okay. Imagine thinking that, like, reading Lovecraft would, like, give you, like, info on the fucking dark arts. Shut up. Canada isn't fake. It's just broken. I kept reading these stories about reviving the dead, you know, like Pet Sematary or like that. So I got to thinking, what if we could revive him, bring him back from the dead? I started Googling around, and wouldn't you know it, I found tons of guides on raising the dead. Most of them were useless, but after a few months, I found one that worked, sort of. Could you please explain your plan to revive Mr. Yauch? I don't know if I'm even fucking pronouncing his name correctly. I'm really sorry, I don't know the steps off the top of my head. I printed something like 10 pages of instructions from online, but the gist of it was we were going to attract his soul to the body with his music, and then trap it. Where did you locate these instructions? Honestly, I don't really remember. I had the pages, and I think they had the website name on them, but the pages got sucked into the portal. I mean, the instructions worked, or I guess they would have worked if I hadn't screwed up with the music. Yeah, I know. I don't think Lovecraft was really all about necromancy. I mean, like, he wrote a story about a dead guy, like, staying alive by staying cold, but that's it. Please explain how you screwed up. I accidentally played the Beach Boys instead of Beastie Boys. It was an honest mistake. Right after Arthur fucked up the music, everything went wrong. Some kind of portal opened up over MCA's head, and then these green ghosts popped out. They were oozing everywhere, melting everything into this awful green acid. They kept on wailing. Everyone and everything, even the birds and possums, were squealing in this awful voice. It was terrifying. Best Lovecraft story is Charles the Sorcerer. I've heard of that one. That one's funny. The entities currently appear to be contained within the circle. How did you accomplish this? Do you know anything about the entities themselves? I'm not really sure. All I know is that I dropped my iPod and Kanye West playlist, and my Kanye West playlist started playing over the speakers, and then the ghosts and acid started pulling back into the portal. I don't know what they are. Sorry. The instructions never mention anything about ghosts. That much I know. I mean, I guess they don't like Kanye West, but that's it. Why were you packing up your equipment? Well, we were going to leave. What were you planning to do about the portal, MCA, and the entities? We kind of figured that the authorities would be able to take care of it, right? I mean, you're here now, and you look ready to take care of it. Do you know where the portal leads? I don't know. It's definitely not heaven, but MCA didn't belong to hell. Is that like a reference or something? Whatever. They summoned Slimer from the Ghostbusters. Ooh, that's spooky. I'm scared. I'm proper scared. What's a really scary SCP? Dude, is that a fucking Danganronpa reference? I see that shit. What's a scaries? I want a scaries one. 527. Okay. I feel like you're messing with me, and that's not actually going to be scary, but fine. I'll let it slide. Yeah, it's the fucking fish head guy. Alright, that's fair. It's fine. It's fine. Just for future reference. Can somebody give me the number for, you do not recognize the bodies in the water? Somebody give me that one. Give me the number for that. I need to know it. This is a weird page. The website doesn't usually look like this. Containment class. Euclid. Is this like a site update or something? What is this? Special containment procedures. SCP-527 is to be contained within a standard humanoid domicile at Site-19. No other containment procedures are necessary. SCP-527 is a male humanoid, 1.67 meters in height, which is biologically non-anomalous. My God. At least I can say it better than the people in the friggin' Tats Top videos. You seen that? Those guys don't know how to pronounce anything. Just them struggling through trying to pronounce anomalous. It's ridiculous. One of them was talking about the mask that seeps liquid, and he fucking said it excretes a vicious liquid. The word was fucking viscous. Anyway. With the exception of its head, which is that of a Puntius semifasciolatus, or gold barb fish. Thank you. I'll read that after. SCP-527 displays no other anomalous qualities. The head of SCP-527 functions the same as the head of any other non-anomalous human. SCP-527 is capable of typical human speech. A tattoo reading, Mr. Fish from Little Misters by Dr. Wondertainment, appears on the bottom of its left foot. SCP-527 was discovered in Boston by Foundation agents in 2002 and was moved to Site 19 in 2004. Oh, I love the Wondertainment series. Addendum 5271, initial interview, of course. Thank you for your cooperation thus far, SCP-527. We're just using this interview as a way to gauge any potential anomalous behavior we might not expect. Alright. To begin with, are you capable of breathing underwater? No. Are you capable of communicating with other fish or with other sea-based life forms? No. I see. When did you first discover your condition? Were you by any chance attacked or bitten by a fish you did not recognize, or experience an encounter with a sea-based deity of some kind? No. Well, then you've been like this since birth? Yep. Alright. Do you know of any other anomalous traits you might exhibit? Sure don't. Like I told the other guy, this is all of it. You're looking at it. Lie, stripes, hot, sweetie, they got all the good stuff. I'm just the guy with a fish head. Do you have any idea why your creator might have fashioned you in this way? Fuck if I know. Ooh, it's got the Wondertainment document, of course. When asked, SCP-527 was able to produce the following document. Yeah, limited edition. That guy's fucking redacted. I could go through all of them, but I'm not going to. That's silly. I'm going to search. Okay, this is like a site update or something. I guess they're going through like all the old SCPs and like making them look different now, I guess. I don't know. How long have I been doing this? Only an hour and a half. That's fine. It's totally fine. Anyway. Cognitohazard warning. The following file contains images and text that are carriers for anomalous cognitohazardous influences. The Red Sea object was creepy. Is that the one that makes you forget things? You do not recognize the bodies in the water. Due to this, it is imperative that all personnel accessing this file be certified as having a cognitive resistance value of no less than 14.5. Should you fail an automated CRV verification, please remain calm and do not move. A member of your site's medical staff will be with you shortly. Please repeat the following phrase slowly and clearly into your terminal microphone. I do not recognize the bodies in the water. Verification complete. User CRV is within acceptable limits. I knew it would be. I am so not falling for cognitohazards ever. I'm above that. God, do you think they could be any louder when leaving their apartment? God. These fucking people. All of my neighbors can fight me in the street. Special containment procedures. Under no circumstances are Foundation personnel to approach SCP-2316. Observation of SCP-2316 must only be carried out by remote dummy probes utilizing video and audio recording equipment. Only those personnel adequately rated for exposure to cognitohazardous anomalies may review footage and audio of SCP-2316. The lake in which SCP-2316 is located has been quarantined and fenced off, and is to be routinely patrolled by individuals who have not been exposed to SCP-2316 and have no prior knowledge of its characteristics. You do not recognize the bodies in the water. Individuals who attempt to bypass the enforced quarantine must be apprehended and moved to Site-33 for a full cognitive influence screening. Individuals who come within 50 meters of the lake containing SCP-2316 are to be considered lost. These SCPs in a prison or something, they're trying to contain them. I guess it kind of is like prison. Please repeat the phrase slowly and clearly into your terminal microphone. I do not recognize the bodies in the water. How's it looking? Of course. I knew I'd be within acceptable limits. I'm so smart. Description. SCP-2316 is the designation for an anomalous phenomenon existing within Lake within County SCP-2316 manifests as a group of human corpses floating in a small group at the surface of the water. The identities of these corpses are Cognitohazard removed, automated change unknown. Though DNA testing has been inconclusive. I gotta scroll down to where's the notes? I can't see this. Okay, I can see it now. That's good. What the heck? Hold on. The live stream readout is weird. Let me just... Okay, the menu's getting in the way. Jeez, stupid thing. Oh well. I'll let it slide this time. Just this once. Just because. Anyway. Quiet drone if a computer's fan is always coming. I'm sorry. My computer sucks. I need to buy a new one, but I can't buy a new one until I move. Oh my god. You guys hear that? The geese just went by. They're all bastards. Due to the nature of SCP-2316, it is uncertain how many individual corpses exist within the group. The number is currently estimated at 45, but has been estimated as high as 200 or more. Being serious, alright. It's really annoying. I gotta cover it with my winter coat every time I record just to keep the sound down. So sad. While SCP-2316 appears to be individual instances, it is theorized that SCP-2316 may instead be an entity composed of a collective consciousness. Individual instances of SCP-2316 do not act on their own, but do seem to be able to act collectively as a single unit. I know who they are. I know their names, each and every one of them. Don't you? The individual instances of SCP-2316 are unrecognizable, and you do not recognize the bodies in the water. Jeremiah Feynman, Arthur Scott, Denise Clark, Cognitohazard removed, automated message, edit, locked. SCP-2316 hosts a powerful cognitohazardous effect, causing those who have viewed SCP-2316 are aware of certain parts of its nature or who were enrolled in Cognitohazard removed. Automated message invalid. To believe the individual instances of SCP-2316 are human beings they recognize, typically from their childhood. Thank you, Max. I'm glad you like my voice. I do get conflicting opinions on that. What's this for? They're lying. They know damn well who they are. The Cognitohazard is real, but it's just their way of crying for help, of letting people know who they are, who they were. Attempting to come in contact with SCP-2316 instances by way of entering lake, redacted, or touching an instance of SCP-2316 will cause other instances of SCP-2316 to appear. You do not recognize the bodies in the water. The additional instances only serve to reinforce and add to the strength of the Cognitohazard, compelling affected individuals into the lake. Individuals who enter the lake in this way are lost, and to date, none have been recovered. What's this? How can you not recognize the bodies in the water? Addendum 6, interview. Data expunged. They don't want to show you, but I will. Below. Okay. Please repeat the following phrase slowly and clearly into your terminal microphone. I do not recognize the bodies in the water. You're 100% French, but you're writing in English. Fucking rude. Verification incomplete. User CRV is not within acceptable limits. User CRV influenced by active cognitohazards. Please stay still. A member of your site's medical staff will be with you shortly. Okay, so how do I get into this? There's like a secret, right? The button's not working. You're getting all funky with the CSS. Now I don't know what to do. I know there's more. I know that there's more to this. The new page layout is like completely confusing me. I'm trying to scroll to footnotes, it won't let me. Strong urge to commission a mission with Solid Snake video. I charge at least $6 for that. If you only give me 3, I won't do it. I know there's supposed to be more here. Oh. Where below? I don't get it. Oh, there it is. I figured it out. I'm smart. I'm a smart boy. Super duper smart. This is a terminal. It's a thing. You don't have a lot of time. You'll need to get away quickly. Go back to the lake. Go into the water. Look into their eyes. It's your friends, your classmates. You took the trip to the lake in the fall of '75 together when you were young. Don't you remember? Look into their eyes. I know you can hear them talking to you, just like they talk to me. Don't let them tell you it's just a cognitohazard. This was their fault. They caused this. We were all innocent kids, don't you remember? And you just got away, you and I. The rest of them are at the bottom of the lake, waiting for us to go back to them and be whole together again. They want us to know. They want us to remember. Wake up, goddammit. Remember the fall of 75, the year we were supposed to graduate. Don't let them make you forget. They're calling to you. Can't you hear them? 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 Look into their eyes. Can't you hear them? Can't you hear them? Can't you hear them? That's a long-ass thing. We didn't know it was in the lake. The Foundation didn't try it. I can't fucking read it because the chat's in the way. Dang it. The Foundation didn't try and save us. They watched and let it happen. Nobody stopped them. You do not recognize the bodies in the water. Oh, this is getting spooky. Can't you hear them? I know you can. Can't you hear them? 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 They're waiting for you. Go back to the lake. That's a good one. That's a good one. This is really long. I don't want to read all of this. I don't want to read a story that has the word selfie in it. I refuse. I mean, yeah, that shit was spooky, but this, whatever. What? Class of 76 tale. What about the rest of it? Okay, that's just that. Alright, it links to itself. It's dumb. I'm not reading the whole thing. I'll do one more before I leave. Wake me up before you go. I'll do one more. Donation takes precedent, but anybody can suggest. I'll wait. Somebody say something. You do not recognize the bodies in the water. You don't recognize them. I hate you guys. Fine, you know what? Fuck you, I'm reading 049. They updated it, so it really doesn't matter. Like, this used to be super fucking cringe, but they updated the story, so we may as well just read this before I leave. Seriously, what the fuck? Did the site update while I was, like, using it? What the hell? No, it didn't. Why do some of them look like this and some of them look like this? The computer fan adds the ASMR factor. Well, I'm glad you think so. It's more of an annoyance to me. So irritating. Anyway. Item number SCP-049. Object class Euclid. Special containment procedures. SCP-049 is contained within a standard secure humanoid containment cell in Research Sector 2 at Site 19. SCP-049 must be sedated before any attempts to transport it. During transport, SCP-049 must be secured within a Class 3 humanoid restriction harness, including a locking collar and extension restraints, and monitored by no fewer than 2 armed guards. Wow. Thank you, Caillou Anderson 45, again, for the $5.49. Thank you. That really means a lot. Thumbs up to you too. Thank you. It's very nice. Thank you. While SCP-049 is generally cooperative with most Foundation personnel, outbursts or sudden changes in behavior are to be met with elevated force. Under no circumstances should any personnel come into direct contact with SCP-049 during these outbursts. In the event SCP-049 becomes aggressive, the application of lavender has been shown to produce a calming effect on the entity. Once calmed, SCP-049 generally becomes compliant and will return to containment with little resistance. We stan a boy who loves lavender. In order to facilitate the ongoing containment of SCP-049, the entity is to be provided with the corpse of a recently deceased animal, typically a bovine or other large mammal, once every 2 weeks for study. Corpses that become instances of SCP-049-2 are to be removed from SCP-049's containment cell and incinerated. SCP-049 is no longer permitted to interact with human subjects, and requests for human subjects are to be denied. Temporary Containment Procedure Update. See Addendum 049.3. Per Containment Committee Order of... that's a long number. SCP-049 is no longer permitted to interact directly with any members of Foundation staff, nor is it to be provided with any additional corpses to be used in its surgeries. This order shall persist indefinitely until such time a consensus regarding the ongoing containment of SCP-049 can be reached. Description: SCP-049 is a humanoid entity that can get it. I'm kidding, but there is a lot of SCP-049 X-Reader fanfiction, and it is weird. Roughly 1.9 meters in height, which bears the appearance of a medieval plague doctor, while SCP-049 appears to be wearing the thick robes and the ceramic masks indicative of that profession. The garments instead seem to have grown out of SCP-049's body over time. Footnote: the robes and gloves are identical to the thick hide built up on the skin, while the mask is composed of a kind of chitin growing out of the bones of the face, and are now nearly indistinguishable from whatever form is beneath them. X-rays indicate that despite this, SCP-049 does have a humanoid skeletal structure beneath its outer layer. SCP-049 is capable of speech in a variety of languages, though tends to prefer English or medieval French. Bonjour. The entity claims to have originated in 15th century France, though admits that it is particularly well traveled. Okay, well, I can't click on that right now. That's probably a tale from, like, his past or something. While SCP-049 is generally cordial and cooperative with Foundation staff, it can become especially irritated or at times outright aggressive if it feels that it is in the presence of what it calls the pestilence. Although the exact nature of this pestilence is currently unknown to Foundation researchers, it does seem to be an issue of immense concern to SCP-049. That chin has got me acting strange. What chin? He doesn't have one. SCP-049 will become hostile with individuals it sees as being affected by the pestilence, often having to be restrained should it encounter such. If left unchecked, SCP-049 will generally attempt to kill any such individual. SCP-049 is capable of causing all biological functions of an organism to cease through direct skin contact. How this occurs is currently unknown, and autopsies of SCP-049's victims have invariably been inconclusive. SCP-049 has expressed frustration or remorse after these killings. indicating that they have done little to kill the pestilence, though will usually seek to then perform a crude surgery on the corpse using the implements contained within a black doctor's bag it carries on its person at all times. What about the bag? The space within this bag is seemingly anomalously large, as SCP-049 has been observed pulling objects larger than the bag itself from within it in order to operate on deceased subjects. That's cute, he's got a little Mary Poppins bag. While these surgeries are not always successful, they often result in the creation of instances of SCP-049-2. SCP-049-2 instances are reanimated corpses that have been operated on by SCP-049. These instances do not seem to retain any of their prior memories or mental functions, having only basic motor skills and response mechanisms. While these instances are generally inactive, moving very little, and in a generally ambulatory fashion, they can become extremely aggressive if provoked, or if directed to by SCP-049. SCP-049-2 instances express active biological functions, though these are vastly different from currently understood human physiology. Despite these alterations, SCP-049 often remarks that the subjects have been cured. Fake ASMRs run out of ideas. Wow, I can't believe you'd say that about me. Actually, before we continue, I need to get some more water. I'm very thirsty. When it comes to a stream with a lot of vocalizations, be sure to bring an extra large glass of water. Addendum 049.1 Discovery. SCP-049 was discovered during the investigation of a series of unknown disappearances in the town of Montauban in southern France. During a raid on a local home, investigators found several instances of SCP-049-2, as well as SCP-049, while law enforcement personnel engaged the hostile 049-2 instances. SCP-049 was noticed as watching the engagement and taking notes in its journal. After all of the 049-2 instances were dispatched, SCP-049 willingly entered Foundation custody. Before you end the stream, can we get a Plane Coon cameo? I don't know, man. I don't think any planes are scheduled for this time. Because I gotta tell ya, it seems, at least when my aunt visits at least, that the planes only come in super, ridiculously early in the morning. Like it's so dumb. It's always at 8 o'clock. I think the planes might be evil. One time I was in the kitchen, which is 2 feet away, and a plane went by and a big shadow just went in front of the windows and everything went dark for a second, and suddenly I had a really bad headache. That was really scary. Anyway, SCP-049 upon discovery. Look at the boy. Oh geez. Oh fuck, that's really big. No. Okay, I'm gonna go back. Oh no. No, you can't do that. Did they give him a voice actor? They gave SCP-049 a voice actor. I bet you anything they just got the guy that voices him in friggin' Tats Top videos, but I'm not listening to that. I prefer the SCP-049 in my imagination. Season me with some lavender, bro. Yeah, I'm down for the count. Anyway. Did he speak in French? This is... I don't know, how do you say sorry? I can't speak French in French. Désolé, je ne pas... How do you say français? I don't know, whatever. I don't know how to say said or speak in French. I don't know how to pronounce it. I can kind of read French better than I can speak it. Désolé, je ne parle pas français. Okay, I kind of got that right then. Way to go. I don't know how to pronounce, like, is it like parle? That's not how you say it. You're not supposed to pronounce the L. I can't speak French. I can't speak French. Anyway. French good enough for Quebec French? No, it isn't. Listen, we all know what happens in Quebec. You try to speak French at them, and they realize that you don't speak French good enough, and they're just like, hi, I speak English. Seriously. I've heard of those from, like, my friends at school. They were like, you go into a store and you're like, bonjour, and they're just like, they sigh and they say, hello. It's so hard to speak French. Anyway. Who needs French anyway? French people, I guess. Anyway, let's read this interview. I gotta do this. First. I'm checking my stream. Wow, that's a lot of playbacks. That's kind of scary. That made a whole $18. Judges in baguette. Isn't there a law that says you have to speak French in Canada? No. It's that all your signs have to be in French and English. Like, they have to be in... If there is a sign in English, it has to also be available in French. But that law does not apply in the reverse in Quebec, so there are all these signs in French but no English, so... yeah. Anyway, SCP-049. In French. So then, how should we begin? An introduction? Aside. Is that French? We can get a translator. The King's English. No need for a translation, sir. I can speak it well enough. Good. My name is Dr. Raymond Ham, and a doctor. A like-minded individual, no doubt. Wherein is your speciality, sir? Speciality? Whatever. I can hate working with, like... Listen to me. In one of the hallways in the school of the medicines, they've got these... The school's, like, almost 200 years old, so they've got these old, like, registration papers that they hang on the wall in the historical area where they keep the class photos where the doctors used to pose with corpses. They did that. The School of Medicine class photos used to have, like, actual corpses in them. It's fucking disgusting. But they have the papers of how much it cost to, like, do a full 4 years at the university. And, like, the inflation rate, let's say, like, it might have been about $500 for the whole of it. In today's money, that's not even fucking close to what it costs to go to med school today. You have a class in 5 minutes. That sounds like a you problem. Cryptobiology, fuck off. Cryptobiology, shut up. A medical man such as myself. Wonders abound, and here I'd worried I'd been abducted by common street thugs. Looks around the room. This place, then, this is your laboratory? I had wondered, as clean as it is, with such little trace of the pestilence here. The scourge, the great dying. Come now, you know what the, taps temple furiously. What is it they call it? No matter. The pestilence, yes, it abounds outside these walls, you know. So many have succumbed, and many more will continue to, until such time as a perfect cure can be developed. God, what a fucking mood. Leans back in his chair. Fortunately, I am very close. It is my duty in life to rid the world of it, you see. The cure to end all cures. Mon garçon, c'est ta problème. When you say the great dying, are you talking about the bubonic plague? I don't know what that is. Mood. Somebody like cut this line out, post that on Tumblr. That's good. That'll do. I see. Right. Well, the entities our agents encountered at that house. They were dead when you encountered them, yes? And you reanimated them? In a manner of speaking. You see things too simply, Doctor. Expand your horizons. Life and death, sickness and health. These are amateur terms for amateur physicians. There is only one ailment that exists in the world of men, and that is the pestilence, and nothing else. Make no mistake, they were very ill, all of them. You think you cured those people? Indeed, my cure is most effective. The things we recovered were not human. Are you a dude? Because I better not be simping for a girl. God fucking damn it. Is this why people think I sound like Solid Snake? Because they think I'm a dude? I've been mistaken for a dude. On my main. And I don't appreciate it. I keep my hair long for a reason, motherfucker. You see me in the streets. You think that's a girl. But if I'm wearing a big coat, you might think I'm a guy. And I'm not cool with that. I'm not a dude. Colonel, Simps, Colonel. Anyway. Pauses and glares. How can you tell he's glaring? He doesn't really have a face at all. Yes, well, it's not a perfect cure, but that will come with time and further experimentation. I have spent a lifetime developing my methods, Dr. Ham, and will spend a lifetime more, if necessary. Now, we have wasted too much time. There's work to do. I will require a laboratory of my own, one where I can continue my research unimpeded, and assistance, of course, though I can provide those on my own, in time. I don't think our organization will be willing to. Nonsense. We are all men of science. Fetch your coat and show me to my quarters, Doctor. Gestures with pointed stick. Our work begins now. This guy's fun. I can see why he has so many fans. He's very exuberant. Voice is more like a cool, stylish girl. That's hilarious, because I'm the least stylish person I know. I got a case of the tisms. I can't wear uncomfortable clothing. It really distresses me greatly. You have a voice that almost forces a person to pay attention to what you say. Have you had... I don't know what that is. Techniques of the voice. Oh, it's a Dune reference. Okay. I get it. I don't get it. I've never read Dune. Interviewer's notes. While SCP-049 is capable of communicating in a very human way, there is a strange sense of unease that one experiences when in its presence. Make no mistakes, there's something very uncanny about this entity indeed. Additionally, we've confiscated that pointed stick that SCP-049 keeps waving around. Part of this was due to standard confiscation protocols for the possession of anomalies, and part because 049 really is a menace swinging it around like he does. The entity was displeased at first, but after we made some concessions in providing it with test subjects, which are, admittedly, more for the benefit of our own research, it warmed up to the idea. No. Give SCP-049 back his stick. Give the plague doctor back his stick. While in containment at Site-19, SCP-049 has spent a considerable amount of time studying and performing surgery on the various mammalian corpses it has been provided. SCP-049 will routinely spend several days performing surgery, and then, regardless of whether or not the corpse becomes an instance of 049-2, spending several more days documenting its findings in a thick leather journal stored within its doctor's bag. SCP-049 will often seek to share its findings with members of Foundation staff. The following log of several occasions during which SCP-049 was observed operating on a mammalian corpse. Thank you for the US $4.99 Sleepy Nocturne. Sleepy Nocturne. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's very nice of you. I don't know why you guys aren't leaving any messages, but alright, that's nice of you. Thank you. You're a girl on the internet, so I'm sure you look exactly like the most beautiful girl of my wildest dreams. Listen, the day I show my face is the day I lose all my subscribers. That's the facts. Why do you think my mane never grew? It's the truth. It's the truth. But with the power of anonymity of my face and the internet, even a scrub like me can get attention online. The internet really is an amazing place. Anyway, observation log 09.OL 049.OL.1 summary. Subject SCP-049. Preface. A test subject D, that's a lot of numbers, was introduced into SCP-049's containment cell. The entity expressed sincere gratitude towards all members of the containment and research staff. What's my main? Not telling you. Nobody gets to know my main. It's a secret. Sorry about that. I know that was probably loud. SCP-049 begins by asking D whatever several standard medical questions as it begins removing tools from its bag. Shortly after finishing its preparations, SCP-049 quickly closed the distance between the two, killing the subject with a touch to its throat. Afterwards, SCP-049 made a number of considerable alterations to the basic structure of the subject's corpse, often introducing fluids from within its bag into the subject by way of a hand-powered pump and copper tubing. Ooh. Nover23 over. Thank you for the $2. Fug. Yeah, man. Fug it up. The resulting 049-2 instance became animated, flailing and grasping at the walls of the chamber with a number of manufactured limbs, while moaning out of an oblong orifice now present in its sternum. During this time, SCP-049 was observed taking notes of the instance in its journal, and remarking to the watching staff about the efficacy of its cure. Security personnel entered the chamber to move SCP-049 back to containment, and were attacked by the instance. The security team dispatched the 049-2 instance, and SCP SCP-049 returned to its containment cell with no resistance, stating it was pleased with the results. Well, alright then. Really messing around here. Observational log 049.OL.2 Summary. Subject SCP-049. Preface: SCP-049 was provided the corpse of a recently deceased goat. SCP-049 expressed gratitude at the provision. SCP-049 operated on the goat corpse for several days, eventually resulting in an instance of SCP-049-2. SCP-049 expressed pleasure in this outcome, though admitted the disease was still in its nascent stage. My veterinarian practice is rudimentary, but the patient responded well to the procedure. Why am I getting emails? Commitment to the plan and quiet Hydro one. I don't want to hear from you. I'm glad to see the story in the chat is going so well, guys. Anyway, I missed one. Observation log 049.OL.3 Summary. Subject SCP-049. Preface: SCP-049 was provided the corpse of a recently deceased orangutan. Okay, I'm alright. SCP-049 expressed noted gratitude at the provision due to the similarities between the orangutan and common human physiology. All I can see is, like, truck and death. Are you guys, like, making a story about somebody getting isekai'd or what? SCP-049 spent several days operating on the orangutan, reanimating it several times. However, SCP-049 appeared to be discontent with the results it experienced, returning to the creature 3 times after its initial reanimation for additional work. After it was unable to reanimate the corpse a 5th time, SCP-049 turned the corpse over to the Foundation staff for incineration, stating, "I have learned so much from this, though I fear my early optimism was misplaced. I hadn't yet come across such a stumbling block on my road to the cure. More subjects like this would do a great deal in advancing my research." Okay. Oh, thank you for the $1. Nover 23 over. Thank you. Fug do the fuggening. I'm not adding another line to my account. Don't text me about this shit. Ridiculous. I don't want a Samsung phone. Jerks. Subject SCP-049. Preface: SCP-049 was provided the corpse of a recently deceased bovine. SCP-049 expressed mild annoyance at the provision, though accepted it nonetheless. Thank you, Bro Chiaki, for the $1. Thank you so much. That's sick, bro. Thank you. Footnote: SCP-049 had stated its desire to work on human subjects several times between this occasion and the earlier provision of an orangutan, noting its discontentedness when they would not be provided. Observation notes: SCP-049 spent several days operating on the bovine corpse, breaking only to dine on a requested dinner of thin crackers, salted pork, and hard cheese. Random? Is that like a classic French meal? SCP-049 has expressed that it does not require sustenance, but enjoys it and feels that the food helps put it in the right mind to operate. Oh, yeah, well, even when I'm not hungry, I feel food puts me in the right mood. The hunger grows. Okay, goodbye, stillborn corpse. Goodbye. Good night, Nova 23 over. Good night. Anyway. Hold up a second. Okay, that's fine. Beginning first by embalming the corpse, SCP-049 was observed producing a number of long syringes from its bag, each containing a different dark, viscous fluid. SCP-049 described these fluids as essences of the humor. Essences of the humors, and elaborated by saying the pestilence may bring about a systemic imbalance. In such a case, before true healing can begin, one must find the humors in balance, or the body will reject the cure. The 4 humors. Silence. SCP-049 added to this statement by saying, "This is, of course, elementary knowledge for the practical physician. I would have thought you would have learned this during your education." Fucking owned. Over the next few days, SCP-049 spent a considerable amount of time adjusting the organs of the bovine corpse with a number of large metal instruments. After 8 days, SCP-049 produced a lightning rod, which Dr. Ham exchanged for an electric cattle prod attached to an extension cord, and struck the corpse in several locations. This action seemingly had the effect of reanimating the bovine, which once again became ambulatory, despite the inversion of the head and reorientation of its limbs. There's audio here, but I'm not listening to it because I'm reading this. This is my show. We've been watching you work for several weeks now, and honestly I'm not sure I understand what you're doing. Can you describe the process in detail? Oh goodness, no, the process is most intensive. As I said to your assistant, the best instruction you will find about my methods are here in my journal, as I have kept exhaustive records of my work here. Notably, SCP-049's journals are not written in any known language, and attempts by linguists and codebreakers to decipher them have been unsuccessful. Oh, he's just fucking around. I see. My concern, Doctor, is that we still don't understand what you're seeking to cure, or how it manifests, or how turning these creatures into quasi-living, mindless drones helps in that effort. You do not understand the pestilence, even after all this time. Doctor, it is an unspeakable horror, one that has shown its true face many times before, and will again. I find myself blessed with the wisdom and good sense needed to root it out and destroy it, but many like yourself cannot. It is a cruel judgment. I fear to be at the mercy of a disease you cannot fully comprehend. That still doesn't answer my question. How is your cure any kind of cure at all? You see, they rewrote it, so it makes less sense why he's doing this and why he's so agitated about it. But in the original write-up, it was pretty obvious that the cure was an analogy for the pestilence was an analogy for stupidity or ignorance. Anyway. It is a cure. You may laugh at my efforts if you please, but do not besmirch the good name of scientific progress that has developed this great mercy. What you so short-sightedly see here is a life better than any this creature could have hoped for, stricken as it was with pestilence. This creature is now clean, unable to spread the pestilence, and free from the terror it would have experienced otherwise. This is hardly a creature at all, Doctor. It's not even... Do not jape with me, sir. Classic jape. You sound like a goth girl with a 24/7 voice crack. Well, fucking excuse me. My voice just fucking sounds like this. Every time I try to fake it, it sounds unnatural. Do not jape with me, sir. You and your colleagues are like so many others, unable to look past minor setbacks to see the salvation taking place before your very eyes. Do you want to remove rotten timbers until the hull collapses on top of you? No, you find them and pull them out and replace them with those untouched by rot. And most of all, you do not simply mock the structure because it now looks different to you. It is strong. It is free of disease. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to agitate you. I'm just trying to understand. Yes, well, do mind your words in the future, Doctor. I am a professional, but even professionals may feel a bite of pride in dealing with criticism of their masterpiece. I will forgive, as this is an act of good faith between colleagues. Is there anything else I can help you with? No, that will be all. another test subject on the usual schedule. You know my preference of subjects with more human anatomies. End log. SCP-049. Attending researchers' notes, SCP-049 seems to genuinely want to help other humans, though it has not been able to provide a concrete example of what exactly it is trying to save us all from. I've watched it now over several weeks, and while the outcomes do not seem to ever change, SCP-049 continues to claim that it is growing closer to its perfect cure. I think the entity may be more aware of the reality of these outcomes than it would like us to think. Okay, so he knows he's fucking up. He just keeps going anyway. You know what? Mood. Holy shit. Percent Halo 055. Thank you for the $4.99. Tell my sister Rose she is SCP-049. She's getting so annoyed hearing that over and over again. What, you want me to say like she is SCP-049? Okay, Rose, you are SCP-049. I don't know. Thank you, Donozane, for US $1.99. 049 is just the clumsy necromancer. Oh my god. Oops, I did it again. I guess you could call it that. I guess I ripped him off. Damn it. I'm glad I made your guys' day. Percent Halo. Thank you for the donation. Anyway, we gotta read this addendum. Addendum 049.3, 04/16/2017. See? I put the full date in there. That's way better. Put the full date in. Incident. Starting shortly after SCP-049's initial containment, Dr. Ham conducted a number of interviews with the subject regarding its anomalous properties, and over time began to note its displeasure with its subjects and the SCP-049-2 instances. This continued for a period of several months, during which SCP-049 never exhibited any aggressive behaviors. Okay, so was this rewritten in 2017? What's the significance of this? Okay. On April 16th, 2017, as Dr. Ham was entering SCP-049's test chamber to conduct another routine interview, the entity began to grow anxious and asked Dr. Ham if he was feeling well. Following protocol, Dr. Ham reminded SCP-049 that the interview was required, after which the entity became hostile and attacked Dr. Ham, killing him. Due to a lapse in security protocol, and because Dr. Ham did not activate the in-chamber emergency system, Dr. Ham's corpse was not discovered until 3 hours later, by which SCP-049 had converted it into an instance of SCP-049-2. In the aftermath of this incident, SCP-049 was interviewed by Dr. Theron Sherman. RIP. R.I.P. Dr. Ham. I mean, I will admit this is a bit more realistic because in the original SCP file, the initial interview occurred by, like, SCP-049 just fucking walking into a lab and just kind of hanging out. Like, he wasn't even locked up or anything. Okay. Begin log. Dr. Sherman sounds kind of pissed off. I need you to explain yourself. SCP-049, you are being directed to explain your actions, and I will remind you that failure to cooperate will result in further restrictions during your containment. My actions do not need to be explained. What the fuck was that? Hearing weird noises in here. It's fucked up. You killed Raymond Ham and then butchered him until he... Not dead. No. Not dead. He is He is cured. Cured? Cured of what? The pestilence, sir. I had thought you, at least, would realize what luck it is I detected it before. What pestilence? You keep going on and on about this pestilence, but you have not once been able to properly identify this disease. What could you have possibly seen in him today that you had not seen in him so many times before, that it would be worth his life? The pestilence presents and progresses in unforeseeable fashions, and has a queer... He's from a different time, and has a queer way of creeping into the unprepared, and... Call it what you want, Doctor. It was a mercy I did to him. He is cured. If you submit a script, is that through Discord? Yeah, sure, I guess. I can't guarantee I'll see it, though. I turned off notifications for the Discord. Don't ever expect to see me in there. He is a vegetable. I would not expect you to understand. You and your ilk have proven time and time again to be not men of science, but men of emotion. You cannot appreciate the horrors I have seen, those many millions who have succumbed to the pestilence and have been changed to... Your cure cost Ray his life. No, good sir, I have saved it. You would allow this world to slip back into the despair of disease and death, ignoring what I have created, a miracle, and what disease, what pestilence? He was a healthy man, he was a good doctor. Am offering it freely to the afflicted. You are not worth this argument, sir. You are short-sighted and foolish. Dr. Ham was sick, and I cured him. I am the only one who can do this. My work must continue. There is so much still to learn, so much to... I've had enough of this. Consider your allowances revoked. Welcome to Containment 049. We're done here. And others can be saved. Even you, though you do not deserve it, might be saved. I can save them all. I can cast down this plague once and for all. I can do this. Only me. I saved him. Dr. Ham. I cured him. He was sick. I know he was sick. I know he was. And you are all sick, but I can save you. I can save all of you, because I am the cure. Meme Town, I am the cure. Yeah, nobody knows what the pestilence is. It's fucked up. Alright, goodbye, Max. Don't worry, the live stream's ending pretty soon. I'm not reading this. I'm not listening to this. That's what I mean. I'm not listening to this. I'm doing the voice acting here. This is my job. The following interview was an excerpt from... Okay. Well, they fucked up on the date again. There's no full date there. The interview was conducted by Dr. Elijah Itkin and took place 3 weeks after the start of the initial investigation. Okay. So wait, when is this? April. Okay, so like that was in April, and this is in like... Wait, what? What? When did he... Oh, okay, so this is like just after it happened. Or before, fuck it, I don't know. Read the chat. I'm reading the chat. Anyway. SCP-049, we are conducting this interview to close out our investigation of your actions taken on April 16th that resulted in the death of a staff member. Do you have any comments to make? Only that I look forward to the day when you will allow me to resume my work. I spent the last few weeks compiling my notes and constructing a new theory for how the pestilence was able to infect someone in such an insidious manner that I nearly couldn't detect it. Have you experienced any remorse for your actions, for the death of Dr. Ham? Yes. Well, the death of a colleague is always regrettable, but in the face of the pestilence, we must be swift, Doctor, and act without hesitation. Dr. Sherman noted in his report that you seemed to be mournful during your initial interview. Mourn. Perhaps. I not thought that. It is lamentable that a fellow doctor became infected, but the work continues. Regrettable as it was, Dr. Ham's death provided important insight. Living human subjects are the only way to proceed forward. I am decided. My cure is of little use on dead flesh, and I've gleaned all I can from your generous supply of corpses. My desires turn towards tending to those still living who suffer from the disease. I'm afraid you're going to be disappointed. Haha. Oh, doctor, I wouldn't be so sure. Is this a tale? Did he break out? Did he get more corpses? I don't know, I don't like the Tales series. I don't know, whatever. Kind of damages the spirit of the thing. What is this a reference to? Oh. Oh, really? What is... Everyone wears a mask. Y'all fucking bet they do. They sure fucking do, mate. They sure fucking do. Unless, like, you know, they're stupid. What are these other links to? Death in the Doctor's Hub. What? Mainline tales. Okay, so he's just got like a bunch of stories about this dude. Whatever. Sell me some merch. Dr. Bartholomew Arts. Oh, so his name's Bartholomew? That's fucking hilarious. Oh god, who the fuck wrote this? This is so long. Dies. Enter abominations several who carry corpse out. That's a good ending. I think that's a good place to end the stream. Yeah. I'm gonna call it. Have I found any inspiration? I think I have. I think Plague Doctor ASMR has potential. Well, I mean, I know, like, my brand. That'll be fine. I know Ephemeral Rift already does that, like, a lot. And he's really good at it. But I can do it, too. I could do it. I could be a Plague Doctor. Nobody's gonna stop me. You just joined and I'm leaving. You should have been here sooner. That sounds like a you problem. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. Like, I don't know how to properly end the stream if it's not scheduled. I guess I'll just hit the stop streaming button on OBS. Oh, fuck. Jesus. That did not turn out right. Turn that off. I fucking hate OBS. I'm gonna try to use Streamlabs next time. This is a terrible system. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Well, actually more listening. This is more of a listening stream. Thank you for listening. That's it.